Our next strategy is somewhat related to acceptance. It's allowing grief and gratitude to coexist. Now, this is something I didn't do when I was a caregiver that I think is a really powerful change in perspective. I can grieve and feel grateful at the same time. I love this. I can grieve and feel grateful at the same time. This is an example of dialectical thinking, which essentially means that two opposing or opposite ideas can exist at the same time. Reminding ourselves that we can be grateful for what we have while grieving what we've lost is so important because it allows us to see that there's always something to be grateful for, even when it feels like we're losing so much. And I was reflecting on how this dialectical thinking could have helped me. And something I really struggled with was when my mom lost her physical abilities. As I said, she had ALS. It was quite quick. She lost her physical abilities quite quickly within the span of 2 years. So I was thinking of when this was happening, and I was so focused on what she was losing, which was fair enough. But I was so focused on it that I didn't appreciate what she could still do, what she still had, until that was lost as well. As an example, when I was grieving that she couldn't walk anymore, which was a really big one, there was room for gratitude that she could still somewhat communicate with us, right? And again, gratitude wasn't something that I knew how to feel at that point. But I think if I had the insight to do it, if someone showed me this slide, if I had the insight to do it, I can imagine that it would have helped me cope at least a little bit with all these losses. And I think a big part of this is appreciating the good or just paying more attention to the good. It could be as simple as your cup of coffee in the morning, being grateful for that, for your pets, for your home, for the people that support you. Just paying more attention to the good, as hard as that can be. Something else that helps a lot of people is writing it down. This is something else that's been proven. Each day, write down one blessing, something you're grateful for. It could be on a random piece of paper, on a sticky note, in a gratitude journal, but putting our thoughts on paper helps our brains shift to more positive thoughts, more positive feelings. And that makes a big difference when we're trying to cope with grief. Plus, writing down one blessing a day takes 10 seconds. It doesn't take a lot of our time, but it can really, really help us. And the last thing here is looking at grief from a different perspective. So this is how I want you to try and look at grief, looking at it as an extension of love. This is a perspective that's helped me cope for some time. We wouldn't feel so much grief if we didn't have so much love for them. And this was really eye-opening for me the first time I heard it. I think it's a beautiful way to view grief. And I will say, I don't want, this talk about gratitude and this talk about looking at grief as an extension of love to take away any of the magnitude of grief and how painful it is. I don't want you to take that from this. But, having these perspectives has helped me a lot. And so I hope it can help you too. I've included some quotes that I love that represent this idea. The pain of grief is just as much part of life as the joy of love. It is perhaps the price we pay for love, the cost for commitment. Grief, I've learned, is really just love. It's all the love you want to give, but cannot. Grief is just love with no place to go. Grief only exists where love lived first. And again, quotes like these and this idea as a whole brings me peace. It brought me peace, and it still brings me peace and comfort. So I hope it can do the same for you. Perspective is very powerful.